Hey y'all. I'm going to read a couple of these translations I've been working on. Dan is going to help me out with the Spanish because my pronunciation is abominable. I found this book on the side of the street in Leon in Nicaragua, and I didn't know that anyone had translated him into English, so I decided I would take a crack at it. So this is my first attempt at translation. Dan is going to lead it off with the Spanish, and I'll follow with the English. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, so this poem is called Ventana. Un trozo azul tiene mayor intensidad que todo el cielo. Yo siento que allí vive a flor del éxtasis feliz mi anhelo. Un viento de espíritus pasa muy lejos desde mi ventana, dado un aire en que despedaza su carne una angélica diana. Y el alegría de los gestos ebrios de azur, que su derraman, siento bullir locos pretextos, que estando aquí, de allá me llaman.
So this poem is translated to window. A drop of blue has more intensity than the whole sky. I feel it living, a flower of ecstasy, of my longing. A spiritual wind from beyond trespasses my window, creating an air that shatters her flesh, an angelic awakening. And in the joy of gestures, drunkards of azure pour forth. I seethe with insane excuses. Being here, they call me from there.
This is la canción del espacio. La distancia que hay de aquí a una estrella que nunca ha existido, porque Dios no ha alcanzado a pescar tan lejos la piel de la noche. Y pensar que todavía creemos que es más grande o más útil la paz mundial que la paz de un solo salvaje. Este afán de relatividad de nuestra vida contemporánea es lo que da al espacio una importancia que solo está en nosotros. Y quién sabe hasta cuándo aprenderemos a vivir como los astros, libres en medio de lo que es sin fin y sin que nadie nos alimente. La tierra no conoce los caminos por donde a diario anda, y más bien esos caminos son la conciencia de la tierra. Pero si no es así, permítaseme hacer una pregunta. Tiempo, ¿dónde estamos tú y yo? Yo que vivo en ti y tú que no existes.
The Song of Space. There is a distance from here to a star that has never existed because God has not yet reached out to pinch the night's distant skin. And to think that we still believe that world peace is greater or more useful than the peace of a single wild soul. This desire for relativity in our modern existence is what gives to space an importance that is only in ourselves. And who knows when we will learn to live like heavenly bodies, free in the middle of what is endless and without anyone to nourish us. The earth does not know the paths where it moves each day. Really, those paths are the consciousness of the world. If it wasn't like this, allow me to ask, time, where are we, you and I who live in you and you who do not exist? Thanks, Dan. So, against my better judgment, I'm going to read a poem that I wrote today and yesterday. I don't know if I could call it a poem yet, but it's titled Nicaragua Diaries, and it probably fits that description better than that of a poem. But here we go anyway. I arrive in dark, wait as customs agent frowns over my battered passport, scowls silently over to me. No es bueno, I agree, characteristically laconic, mangled, clumsy, my tongue too big in my mouth. I smile, try to affect him with my cheer or at least my lack of concern. He checks me through eventually, knowing that I am not worth his disdain or even official censure. I step past to the baggage claim, eyes wide, devouring everything, barely registering that I'm slowly being stripped away. $20 for a 15-minute taxi ride through the slum city of Managua, then $11 for a night at the Backpackers. It is 9 o'clock and everything is closed already, so I settle on a gas station hot dog and a can of cold Tonya. Talk to the students gathered in the hostel courtyard where we talk politics and philosophy until I must sleep. Awake early, change $80 into 2,000 Cordobas like magic, and take a 50-cord taxi ride 20 minutes across town to the bus depot, making a mental note to at least learn to haggle in Spanish before too long. The bus to Chinandega is 20 Cordoba, less than $1, and leaves as soon as it is full. I sit squashed between a man and a woman who I am to find out has had 8 children, which does not deter her from hitting on me for 2 straight hours in Spanish. Although she knows that I understand nothing she is saying, she is very insistent that I answer her ridiculous demands, and soon I am reduced to the repeated refrain, "Yo tengo novia, yo tengo novia." She gropes and pinches me mercilessly. The man on my left finds no end of amusement in my predicament. I lean into them and dissolve into the strange language and laughter. I will not begin dreaming in Spanish for 2 more weeks. In Chinandega, I exit the bus post-haste, fall upon a cigarette vendor, 30 quart a pack, and inhale 2 in minutes. The taxi driver asks me where I need to go in English, but I wave him off until the first cigarette is gone, pausing between to answer Hicalillo. He says, $25, and I know it's far, but I also know the bus is only $1 or 24 Cordoba, and right now it's impossible to know what money is worth in this country. So I wave him off again, saying in English that I need to think about it. I spot the old woman departing and ponder the difference between a 3-hour bus ride and an hour in the passenger seat with the window down. And when the driver comes back speaking 20, I hoist my backpack and we are off. He says his name is Francisco, asks if I am hungry, and we stop first at his house, where his wife Maria cooks us huevos y arroz y frijoles con tortillas, and he asks me to take their pictures so that I will remember them. He kisses her when we leave, and I don't even know how we got to talking about politics, but he shows me the scar in his neck and another in his side from the bullets shot by the Contras, who killed his brother and his father and his wife's entire family. I forget even lo siento, and so I just say I'm sorry, and I am. Sorry for living in a country so fucked up that we could invent a Reagan and a George Bush among other unfortunate species of intervening bigot. But that doesn't even begin to speak to it, so I leave it at I'm sorry. And he looks at me and gravely says thank you. And I know that we both mean it. We drive in silence for a while, and soon we reach the dirt road that goes to Hicalillo. He starts snarling to the road, and I have a sneaking suspicion that my taxi ride is about to get a little more expensive. Mil Cordoba lighter, just over $40 for an hour ride. I walk up to Rancho Esperanza, meet my bosses Nate and Shayna. When I tell them how much I paid for the ride, they shake their heads, but they didn't see the scars. They tell me I can start work on Friday, and it is only Tuesday night, so I crack another Tonya and meld into the first of many Pacific sunsets, nights spent reading in hammocks, swatting away the scarab beetles. After many hours, I climb to bed, Regina's memory with me. I can feel her arms, her legs tangled in mine, her soft neck hairs, her scent, her need. She is waiting for me in Vegas, in Buffalo, in Hicalillo, or in the realm of sleep, keeping time with my dispersal, keeping what is meant to keep. I set up to climb Coseguina, a towering volcano visible from the beach. The truck comes at 4 a.m. and I clamber in the back with the guide, Guillermo, while an American couple and a German schoolteacher sit in the cab. I reach the limits of my Spanish with Guillermo in about a minute and a half and sit there, shivering in silence over the bumpy road, when my discomfort is repaid with a brilliant sunrise over the fields of sesame. We reach Potosi and down a coffee, then take the truck to the end of the road. The ground is crushed pumice, sliding from beneath my feet as Guillermo, 5 feet tall, scampers nimbly, pausing to call out birds based only on the sound of their wings flapping. I never see any, but the living presence of the volcano suffuses breath, ear, mind. Thwack goes the machete, idly clearing the brush as the gringos slow him up. Guillermo has lived on the side of Coseguina all his life. He is as much a part of it as the parrots or the pumice or the vines filled with giant thorns filled with poisonous termites who scurry out to numb my arm with beautiful clarity beneath the blue. We pass a bunker where the guerrillas held off Somoza's National Guard in '79, now filled with garbage and excrement, as tourists always shit on what they cannot understand. The jungle opens out, the trail rises up, and suddenly, without warning, we are at the summit, the lip of the crater. Down below, beneath a 200-foot drop, the Emerald Lake steams beneath the sun a mile across. As far as Guillermo knows, no one has ever made it down, but he will try before he dies. All around, the blue stretches to grayed out outlines of the far shores of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras. The rice and sesame fields are a miniature checkerboard with countless squares, a diminishing Escher tessellation. The blue of the sky, the sea, and the shore, the other distant volcanoes blend gently in the mind, the fine opium smoke of my dreams. Thank you.